What's up, guys? It's your boy again. I'm back with another video, and this time I'm joined with the one, the only, the person you hear in the back of the videos but don't actually see. I'm joined with Steph. We just got done from watching Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I believe that's
I think
what
it's
it's
the
called.
last. Wait.
I think it's The Rise of Skywalker.
It's not Skywalker in the title.
It's called The Rise of Skywalker. We'll get into it a little bit. If you guys have not seen the movie, I think you should click away from this video.
You should definitely click away from the video.
We are definitely gonna spoil the movie.
We're gonna spoil it.
Yeah. So we just there's just a lot that we have that we want to talk about, especially because there's a lot. There's just a lot in the movie.
There's a
and
lot.
So, like I said, just spoiler alert for anybody who has not seen the movie. If you don't want to be spoiled, just don't watch this video. Just watch the movie and then come back and watch the video. I'm totally cool with that. But for anyone, before I get into the whole thing, for anyone that's watching this as this is premiering, I cannot see the comments, so I don't know what you guys are saying. But you can go ahead and go into that live chat comments down below and comment whatever you like. Just go crazy, go bananas, and talk about, like, I don't know, whatever you want. But anyways, I'm gonna go into what we're gonna talk about. So we'll go ahead and start with the positives of what we like about the movie, the negatives, and overall our opinions about it.
Yeah.
So starting off with the positives, what do you think? What did you like about the movie?
I think that this is one of the best character developments in one of the three movies for Rey. I think that it shows a lot of her like spunk. It shows a lot of her
Spunk.
Yes, she is. She's not spunk.
I'm not saying she doesn't. I just thought that was an interesting choice of word.
But it works. It shows like her spunk. It shows her rebelliousness because she like goes and she does things without her friends and against their they don't want her to, but she'll just go and do it anyways. It also shows her like conflict inside, which we've seen the whole journey for her. But this, I just feel like it focused a lot more on her than it did on some of the other characters. And well, another thing that I think is really positive is they actually kept the three main characters together. So they kept Poe, they kept Finn and Rey together, along with the
3PO and Chewbacca.
Some of the androids, which they're main characters, but you know the main three that are the heart of the good guys. Yeah. There's a lot of other good things, but I love Kylo when he turns into Ben Solo.
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, yeah. We already warned you, so if you clicked off, well, you did or if you didn't click off, then you did.
If you clicked off, you ain't watching any of this. You don't know what we're talking about.
You clicked off, this isn't happening. But if you decided to stick around and you're just all like, no, they won't spoil anything. Ben Solo and Kylo, they're the same, but they're kind of
they get a divorce.
Yeah. I do think that when they brought Palpatine on, he was way more...
They brought him on early too.
They did, but I mean, like when they brought him on at the end, when he took their force,
the force bond?
He took their force bond, he took their spirits, and like powered himself up, basically rejuvenated himself. He bathed in the blood of the youth to make himself young again, basically.
Like reptilians.
He seems like one. I think that him as a villain is still very strong, as he should be, because I mean he is, you know.
He's like, he was the main force, I think, in the originals. Mm-hmm. Behind like the ghost, I guess behind Darth Vader, if you will. Yeah. I mean, he is a Sith. You know, he's not a Skywalker. He's not like like Obi-Wan. He's not. He's a Sith for sure. Like he's a Palpatine. And so, I guess for me, my positives, now going off of what you said, is just like, I do agree with the Rey. I think every part that she was in where she started taking initiative into the story and she started moving the plot forward, I really enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. I did like that because I felt like she wasn't doing that for any of the previous movies. I felt like she did in moments of the previous movies, but I don't think it outweighed the other characters. This one really took charge. She really just said, okay, you guys don't want to go for that? You guys know that's the most important thing we need to look for right now, so I'm going to go for it. And I like that. And I was like, you know what? You need to be sassy. You need to be fierce. You need to be like a Jedi. And so she came out of nowhere and she did what she needed to do. And I really liked that. I also really liked What was I gonna say? I also really liked the use of her, if you will, like not just her going forward and being like this person of in charge that becomes, the Jedi that saves them all. I also really like that she's not leaning on anyone.
Yeah.
She's not following anyone in this at all. Like it's different than being taking initiative and things. She's leading. She is being the leading person, and she's leading this movie, and she's carrying it, and that's really really powerful, especially if you consider a character, because she came from like a really quiet past.
Yeah.
She was alone, and she followed people around because she didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that I understand that, but it was also a crutch. That being said, do you have any more positives before I get into negatives? Because that's the only positive I got. The only positive I'm going to say is that I really like what Rey brought every time she did things in the movies. I really enjoyed it. That's the only positive I got.
You're literally like, let me know when Rey's parts are on.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So there was a part where it was a lot of like starships and troopers fighting each other, and I was like, I really don't care about this. I want to see what Rey has to do, and so I was tired. The beer got to me at the end where I was like, I got my drowsy face, and I thought, I'm getting a little tired, so I was like, I'm gonna take a little nappy nap, and when Rey's part come on, I can wake up because this part right now is not important.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking of other positives.
But if you got any more positives, go ahead.
There are some. I mean, like, I think
Kylo. I mean, is there anything else you want to say about or Poe maybe Finn? I don't know. The new characters they introduced.
I didn't care much for them. Yeah. I really love that they introduced a new robot.
Oh, the robot, the
and
little robot.
It's super cute, and I like it a lot. He has like a name too.
Yeah, they gave him a name, but I forgot what it was called.
Me too. He doesn't say it very often, but later on in it.
In the movie, they mention it.
They mention it a couple times. But he's really, really cute. I like him a lot. He's got like a little cone kind of head thing. He's a really good addition. I liked him. Like, as always, Adam Driver is just extremely good.
He's a good actor.
He's so really good at acting that there was little things where he was fighting facial things where he's fighting the Knights of Ren.
Which you
think it's a bad thing?
I
feel like
look. I'm not saying him fighting the Knights of Ren is bad, but I just think that when you were like, I was like, why isn't he beating these people?
Wait, we're talking about positives.
No. I know, but I'm just gonna get into it because. You literally, because I was like, why? And then you were like, and me sitting down as a casual person who does not read the novels on the side or doesn't like get into it, I remember some of the original, most of it because it's a hero's journey, and I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I'm not gonna call myself an outright big Star Wars fan. I'm a casual I'm gonna be honest about that. And as that, I was sitting there and I was like, these are the Knights of Ren. Never in the series do they ever give them, like, agency. They never give them, like, presence. They never give them points, even though they're very important. They are the fucking, they're the fucking, like, backstory to Kylo. But they don't ever get anything else other than that. Because it's all about Kylo at that point, early on in the first two movies. But now that they do show up, you're supposed to be like, oh, look, that's the Knights of Ren. As a casual viewer, you don't know that. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, these are just some punks that they just put out there, I'm pretty sure they're the Knights of Ren. If they are, that's so lame because, like, the Knights of Ren are legit, like, they might as well just all be dead, in my opinion. Because, like, why do they even exist if they're not, they didn't play any important part of this trilogy at all. They barely did anyways. Like, when did they really... Kylo was on his own. That's true. But I thought that the scenes, the little things that he did in that fight, where you can tell that he was not in his, like, Kylo Ren. He was Ben, right? He was Ben Solo. And you could tell it in his mannerisms and the way, like, he... carried himself. There's things that he did. The way that after he got the lightsaber, he does like this look. He looks at them and he does this like shrug kind of thing. And I was just like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I was able to distinguish. I just felt like he was like, I got it.
As a very big fan of Kylo Ren, I can know the difference between them. I'm a big fan of both Kylo and Ben. I don't. they're the same, but also not. It's just a thing.
Right. So, are there any more positives that you wanted other than that, or?
I do like that they didn't have.
You did mention that the pacing was fast, but that you enjoyed it.
Well, no, I mean like I just enjoyed like parts of the beginning of it because it was like fun.
Oh, okay, so the beginning was the entry point of the movie was good.
Yes, I thought that was really fun.
Okay.
I thought there were some switches between like, oh, you'll see what Rey's doing. Oh, right. Here's what Kylo's doing.
Right.
Here's this and this and this. There's also, I like how when they have their Force spawn, Kylo and Ren.
Kylo and Rey.
Kylo and Rey, like, just knowing that from their perspective, they don't see where the other one is, like the room they're in. They only see the room they're in, but the other one's there.
You get perspective from each one.
Yeah. I really like that. I know they did it in the last movie too, but I also feel like it wasn't as clear.
In this one?
No, in the second one, I feel like you can see. Like,
well,
they would show Kylo...
In this movie, Kylo legit took something from her.
Yeah.
Using
he
the
took
Force
the bracelet. He took
and
the necklace.
Rey later on, like you said, gives him the lightsaber. So there's
but not just that, like.
But I'm just saying, there's actual physical stuff that they're doing now with the Force bond. So like.
Well, they did it like slightly in the second one, where like she was in the rain, or she was somewhere where there was water, and he was in a building, and he looked at his hand, and there was like water on it.
Yeah, no,
there's,
yeah,
like,
for
little
sure.
Things.
Well, that's environment. I just meant like actually taking something from.
Oh, like he reached, yeah.
There's physical, like.
That was, I don't know if that's new, but it was very interesting. I liked it. But I think in this one it's different because in the last movie you'd see like different frames, I guess is what they're called, like one shot and then another. Mm-hmm. But in this one they were in the same shot.
Well.
On different.
Right, it was the same shot, but it was also different shots. Mm-hmm. So like it was just the editing of it. So like the way Rian Johnson did it in the second one was he played it like a TV show, mm-hmm. where it's you get one shot and then the other shot. You go back and forth until you just get the point. But in this one, what J.J. Abrams did was he did like a circular shot. Mm-hmm. So he followed the two characters around, and when one character moved, it switched to the other environment, and when then the other character moved, it switched back to their environment.
But you can see both of them in that environment.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Cool.
It was like a panoramic, if you will, of both environments just spinning around.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that better than I liked what Rian Johnson did.
It was cool. I mean,
like I like them both, but it was just
it
was nice.
I mean, yeah, it's cool for sure. If you don't got anything, I'm excited to go into the negatives.
Okay, we can go into the negatives now.
I'll start it off because I'm pretty sure I got a lot more negatives than she does. You got a lot. I'm just gonna state I don't want people to think that I'm like I hate Star Wars or the new Star Wars or whatever, because I know some people will think that from what I'm going to say.
I think it sometimes.
But I don't hate Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I like the idea. I like the space opera sort of a theme and stuff like that. I just really don't like this new trilogy. I feel like if you go back and you watch the original trilogy, there's something new about it because it was the first of its kind. When you watch this one, it feels like they're trying to work off of the back heels of the success of the original. And it doesn't work, especially in this third movie, because I'm going to get into the biggest problem I had with this whole trilogy as a whole, not just the movie, the whole trilogy, is the fact that I'm just going to say, Disney and the people who are in charge of Star Wars right now legit do not know what to do. It looks like that. Because honestly, they literally had a perfect hero's journey that they could have followed. And it looked like they were following it exactly like the original. And then they strayed from it in a way that you made me as an audience member go, why? And then they added this extra thing, and then they added something else, and then it ended up feeling not like the hero's journey, but then they would go back to the hero's journey, and then I'd be like, okay, so they are doing the hero's journey, but then they would do something else, and I'd be like, so what are they doing? And then in this third movie, it exactly showed me what they were doing. They're doing the hero's journey for Rey. Mm-hmm. The problem is her moment wasn't until the third movie, and the thing in the original was Luke's moment was in the second. Yeah. The third movie was the aftermath of that. That's why a lot of people don't like the third movie, and it's not as much as the second one, because the second one is the climax. It's where everything happens, where you get all the information that you need, mm-hmm. where the lead up goes, right? And so in this one, the lead up is to this third movie. And the problem with that is they had to focus on Kylo, which means you build up your villain who, let's face it, in the first two movies, he was the villain. He was. Snoke was the villain in the second one, but he was stupid. He didn't even need to be there. Kylo was the main guy. And so in this third one, they backtrack him. So as a Kylo fan, if you guys want to see more of him, you're not going to.
He's like over.
He's done.
He's put to the side.
He's done. His character is done. He's done. They used him, and then they're like, we don't need him anymore. He's done, because now we can finally put light on Rey. But you know how stupid that is? Because that makes me, as an audience member...
She's been there since the beginning. Why not just focus on her the entire time?
Also, why I have a huge problem with it is the reveal. They did the beats are the same as the original. They're just played differently. And differently in a way that's not well. Mm. Because the reveal of her backstory, let's compare it to the original. In the original, Luke gets his reveal in the second movie by the villain. The villain says... the villain tells him, the reality of like that he's his father. Yeah. Darth Vader, the main villain, is the hero's father. Yeah. The main villain, who doesn't appear until the third movie, not even mentioned in the first two fucking movies. You have no idea that Palpatine is the villain. He shows up in the third movie and is like, I am your grandfather. Bitch, where were you in the first two movies? Okay, let's be honest. Oh my God.
So many people thought either Kenobi
and they made the reveal so bad because I did not care for it. You know why? Because Luke knew. Because Leia knew. Two people in the movie universe knew about Rey's backstory. You know who knew about Luke's backstory? No one. Until Luke found out. And that was the big moment. That's a reveal. You never know. You didn't see it coming. This one... I was in the audience, I was like, yeah, she's a Palpatine. As soon as they showed her with the lightning, I was like, there's literally no one else who can do that other than Palpatine.
He really did. He's like, you know who else can do that?
Palpatine. And I was like, I know what's going to happen in this fucking movie. And it happened. And that's what really pissed me off, is because they played it exactly, especially if you've seen a lot of movies, if you read a lot of books, you know how certain writings are. You know how certain tropes go. This was a big-ass trope that really bothered me because I've seen it a million times. I've seen it been done better a million times. And it's so frustrating, the fact that people are letting this slide by. People, why? Why are you giving them this money to do this? These movies are so bad. And I don't care if anyone's going to hate me. I don't really honestly give a crap because I really need to put this out there. These three movies are really bad. The first one, off of nostalgia. The second one tries to do something different but isn't allowed to because they're sticking to a plan. The third one tries to retcon everything that the second one did by also giving the fans what they want and then revealing the character in a way that's not appealing and not well. Also, by the way, I liked The Rise of Skywalker better when it was called Avengers Endgame. It looked like they were taking beats from Marvel's Avengers. It was really bad because I was like, I'd rather go watch the Avengers fight because they have more emotional stakes than this. Like, there were just certain things in there that I honestly did not care. Mm-hmm. There was parts in the movie where I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about what happens next. I know what's going to happen. Let's move on. I didn't care.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that happen where you're supposed to feel for them, but you don't really. Not really. Like, Poe has his own little backstory thing about like.
Okay, let's talk about that because I know
out of nowhere.
You mentioned it.
Out of nowhere.
A lot of people mention it. How like in the first one, J.J. Abrams sets Poe and Finn up right
to be like
they
do.
They have they could have an intimate relationship, yeah. Right? But then I honestly was like, okay, maybe, but also it could be a thing where audiences are reading into something mm-hmm. because there's just a lot of romances that don't end up into actual things like that. They're just bros. And the thing about this is that's exactly what it was in my opinion because they gave Finn another counterpart in the second movie. In this movie, they give Poe a little bit more backstory.
That's another thing, though. That whole thing with Finn
and Rose.
And Rose, where was it in this movie? Just
nowhere. Rose barely showed up. Only
totally
like 1 minute.
Just
also, that's also a problem with the audience. I don't think she wanted to be in it. I don't think she was ready for the spotlight. I'm pretty sure Disney wanted Rose's character to be a prominent character in the third movie, but I feel like because of the backlash that she got in the second movie, and because so many people were mad about her character, I guess, and that they drove her out of social media, I guess, because she couldn't handle it.
They made her.
I don't think she was.
She closed her Twitter for it.
Yeah, So I don't think.
But she was gone. She wasn't in this.
She was just. They were just like her character's doing something else.
Yeah.
Her character's over here. You know? But I really.
That just seemed like
when the movie started.
That girl?
When the movie started, I literally felt like why? I know like everything that happened in the movie leading up to the ending was all placed there by plot. Mm-hmm. None of it was placed there because there was reason. Mm-hmm. The moment that Rey finds that GPS signal, they fall into a sand. They fall down a thing. And they don't even know that it's under there. It just happens to be there. So they stumble upon it. And then they stumble upon it. And then when Rey saves this alien snake, the snake leaves. And as soon as the snake leaves, there's a stupid shot where suddenly a door opens. So they can leave. They can magically fall down and they magically find this piece. How convenient. Then she saves the snake. She's a good person. The door opens. How convenient. Everything's so convenient in this movie. I'm just like, why is there no explanation for anything? Everything just happens because they just happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how is this good story? This is terrible storytelling. And it happened in the first movie too. That's what bothered me. Is like everything just happens. Well, and it was like so fast, and it went back and forth from character to character that it didn't give me a room to care about anybody. Not even Rey. Like, I cared about Rey because she was driving the story forward, but I'm just going to stop. I feel like I'm ranting. Go ahead.
You're going really hard into
Bro, I hate this movie. I didn't want to say it, but I really hate this movie. It was so bad.
Back to, like, 5 minutes before where you said, I don't hate this movie.
I thought about it. I didn't want to say I hated it, but the reality is I really do.
You just hate the writing of it.
I hate the movie. Because the writing is the movie.
This is true.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I really don't. There's a lot of good movies out there, and I love a lot of movies, and I love going to the theater and watching movies. Mm-hmm. I just cannot sit back and watch a bad movie and let people praise it like it's some godly thing. It's not, guys. It's really not. This new Star Wars trilogy is not that good. You want to see...
People clapped at the end of it, and
I was just like
why?
It's not. Also, can we talk about the end?
Her making her...
So she...
But wait, can we backtrack a little bit?
Okay, what else?
So, something I like about the movies is the whole connection between
the
Rey
romance
and
Kylo
and / Ben.
Should not have been, but it is.
And it's a thing. It was like, you know,
should not have been, but it is.
It basically was confirmed in this because
it should not have been, but it is.
But it's not with Kylo. It's with Ben. Either way, it's the same thing. But it is a thing for like a second because he freaking dies. He brings her back to life because she dies. For some reason, she dies. I get it. You say it's because she used all her life force.
That's my explanation for it.
Which makes sense.
The story doesn't give you explanation. So it's up for interpretation.
She defeats Palpatine. And then she just dies. And then Kylo, Ben.
You can call him Kylo.
I know, but
they're one and the same.
That's true. So Ben, he climbs up because he got thrown earlier. Obviously, thrown aside like the ragdoll he's been for this one movie, opposed to being like
all that backstory they give him, and in this one they're just like
strength. They're just like, no, you're to the side now.
I was like, when did he lose all that power that he had before?
Like he needs a lightsaber or something.
I was like, where did it go? If this is Darth Vader,
where he comes in and he just has like a gun, like a little laser gun thing. And he's using it, and then he gets overtaken by the Knights of Ren, and he needs a lightsaber to actually overcome them.
Knights of Ren?
Yeah.
By himself?
Yeah. But then there's some that were just beating them down with their, like...
We don't know if that's the Knights of Ren, but
whatever they are, I think it's those six... It's those six...
It's plot art. It's really bad plot. It's really
It's
bad
those 6 ones that... 6, I don't know, guards or whatever.
The
but he's, like, fighting them.
To get to Rey.
And then, to get to Rey. I guess to stop her from killing... I don't know, just to help her.
Well, because if Rey kills Palpatine, Palpatine would have put all of the Sith power into her, and so she would have automatically became a Sith. Like a bad...
okay.
Yeah, so she would have automatically became a bad person. So that's why Kylo did that Force thing and was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And so that's when she realized, oh, I have 2 lightsabers.
Let me go give him one. So yeah, he needs that to, But eventually I forget what I was saying. It was something about her...
How he saved her?
He saved her.
Right.
Because she died.
Because she killed Palpatine. I think she used all of her life force.
Yeah.
The force that she had, because just like how Leia in this movie Leia dies and she uses all of her life force to, I guess you said it was a force ghost, but it didn't look like it. Of Harrison Ford comes
somehow
back.
He comes back
for Han Solo, and but Leia talks to Ben for a moment, and because they mentioned it, they're like, this is gonna take all the life out of her.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's classy, because pass her away
Yeah.
But so I'm assuming it was the same thing with Rey. She used all of her life force to defeat Palpatine. Mm-hmm. And so she was on near death. That's
but then Kylo brings her back to life, I guess, and like you said, a life exchange.
A life for a life.
A life for a life. Equivalent exchange.
Equivalent exchange.
Kind of a thing, and and then like he doesn't die like she did though. He just vanishes, and then it shows his mom vanishing too. Which doesn't make sense to me.
When Luke passed, he vanished. Remember, he was just sitting down.
Is that just a thing that the Skywalkers do?
I think they become part of the Force. Like, there's a lot of theories out there that the Force is like a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the energy like that is used to explain spirituality, and so it could be like they became one with the Force after that. Because Ben in this movie sort of redeems himself, mm-hmm. even though he shouldn't. But he redeems himself and becomes a good person. So I guess he just went with the Force like everyone else, all the other Skywalkers.
Man, I don't know. I just don't like it. I didn't like it for him because it's just they kiss and like then suddenly he's just like he's gone. Which that sucks for Rey because I mean like.
It had to be though.
I know.
It had to be.
It's like people are saying that there was no way he would have made it out of this movie like alive. Like,
even if it was even if he stuck to the dark
side.
It
would probably been just like
I mean, you saw it. Rey was about to kill him. Rey literally killed him.
Yeah.
And then she brought him back because she was like, oh wait, he's still good.
Yeah. I just don't like the way he died like that.
I think it makes sense.
It makes sense. But I just don't want him to die.
I understand.
I just didn't
want a lot of people probably don't. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are Reylo fans that shipped them from the very beginning. I was not one of them. I honestly, in my honest opinion, I felt like what they were gonna do, which they surprised me. I didn't think
that was gonna be the way
that he was gonna die.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna live on. I thought that he was just gonna try to forge his own path, if you will. Like, he was neither going to be part of the Jedi, light side, or dark side. He was just going to be the negative.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people would have made more sense. Because it doesn't make sense for him to just switch from evil to good. Mm-hmm. It's just not... They show... Okay, look, this movie shows humanity in both of them, right? Because they're connected to each other. And it just doesn't make sense for him to just hop on, whoop! I'm a good guy now, guys! Like, he still killed a lot of people.
Well, that's the thing. He would never have been able to be seen in front of...
He killed his own father.
Yeah. Yeah, like he said, he keeps saying it in the movie that it's too late. That he can't go back. And that's just... His father says, like... He tells it to his own father, too.
Yeah, and he can't go back. And I know in this movie he did, though.
Kinda.
No, he did. He did. They jumped the gun. They made him a good guy.
Oh, I mean, I thought you meant going back.
No, like being a good guy. He said he can't go back because Leia's dead. Yeah. If Leia would have survived, that was what was keeping him there. Like in the second movie, he didn't shoot the ship because she was there. There was something about, I guess, the connection he had with her that was stronger than what he had with his father. Yeah. Which to me doesn't make any sense. There's no explanation for it. It's just there.
No, I mean it is because I think he says
he says
it about how like
they don't give him backstory like that. He's
always leaving and stuff.
Yeah, well, you know what? He got other things to do.
Yeah, but if you're a father and you're just gonna leave your kid while they're growing up, like.
Yeah, you hope one day that you can let them know and tell them it was all for your good, and I was out here fighting the universe.
Okay.
I think he was being a little brat, and and he ended up making him go to the dark side.
But wait, we're getting.
But yeah, coming back forward, overall, to end the video, what did you think about the movie, just in general, overall?
In general?
Out of 100, usually what I do when I do reviews for movies, I usually do from 0 to 100%. Overall, what did you think about it, and what from that percentage would you give it?
I thought, okay, I'm not giving a percentage yet, but I thought that the pacing in the movie was very quick and very like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and it just like instantly went into a thing. Like you said earlier, where everything just happens and like gives them a solution.
The plot happens.
It just
happens.
And some of it doesn't make any sense. Some of it makes sense. Some of it's just there, and you're just like, why? They didn't work for this very much.
Yeah.
And it's just like handed to them, which not good.
It's not good at all.
That's not good. It's not good that way. There's certain things about like Poe's like relationship with them where they're all like arguing with each other. So I mean, like, they're supposed to be a close group of friends now, but there still seems
I also
like...
didn't believe any of that.
Yeah,
there was something about the way they wrote those characters in. They just happened to be... I was just like... There was something about it that I was
They just seemed like three people put together.
Yeah, like they were forced together. It didn't feel like they genuinely cared about each other.
Yeah,
even though
they
acted out, and the actors are good. I'm not taking anything away. It's just the writing. It's just the writing.
And then Kylo was pushed to the side where he, for the other movies, was pretty like prominent.
He could have been the main character.
He could have been the main character. You're so right. He could have. But he was just pushed to the side for this one. The whole Hux thing, General Hux, being the spy.
I thought that was so...
That was stupid. And
I didn't see it
after.
coming, but then I was still upset about it because I was like, why?
And he says, I don't care if you guys win, I just want Kylo Ren to lose. It's so petty.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I guess that is pretty enjoyable though.
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone could tell from the very first movie that he hated him.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Just because he hated him.
He wanted the power for himself.
He's like, why can't I be Kylo Ren?
Why can't I have the Force?
So that was pretty dumb. I did like Rey in this a lot. Rey was very, very good. I did
As
like...
you should.
Right, she's the main character. You're supposed to like her. You're supposed...
Skywalker.
She's a Skywalker, guys.
But
she decides to be her on herself. She decides herself to be a Skywalker.
Really did not like. I'm gonna let you finish and then I'll.
Yeah, and then I did like the little moment with Kylo or Ben and Rey, because like it was sweet in the moment that it was, where she's just like, oh, Ben, and then you can see them and he smiles and they kiss, and it's just like that's what they've been this whole time, like trying to be, like that connection's been there, and then he dies, which is also sad. So that gives her more character, I guess, to work off of too.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's just gonna deepen her. There's this whole thing where Finn is obviously, I guess, in love with her and he wants to let her know, but he just never says it. And in the movies, he never says it. He doesn't get to say it.
It's so frustrating.
He wants to, but he never gets it out. And the thing is, I don't think it'll happen.
It should have. It's so frustrating.
He should have said it.
It's so frustrating, honestly, because everyone ships Finn and Poe, but you can clearly tell that
Finn loves Rey. Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. There's just a lot of characters thrown at you. Like, they bring back Han. They bring back Lando. They bring back...
I am so sorry, Lando, for your character.
He's just there to be the old cast member, one of the originals.
Yeah.
He's literally there. Sometimes I understand that they wanted to keep Carrie Fisher in the movie. I understand that.
She didn't do anything.
But she didn't really do anything. Her
training with Rey did, but other than that, she,
Yeah, but it's just,
But you can't work with that much. She passed away.
Yeah. But I just don't they could have just...
They did the best they could.
I'm not,
yeah, they could
have. But also, that would have been,
yeah. There's no easy way.
There is this tiny scene of her and Luke as younger...
Force Ghosts? No, the flashback.
Kids. There's a flashback. And it's nice. I liked seeing that.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was really,
CGI,
sweet.
But it was cool.
And, yeah, it was CGI. It was just nice seeing that. I give this movie... I think a 6.5.
Oh, no
that
percentage?
Is my percentage.
That's your percentage?
6.5.
So 65%?
Wait, I was thinking stars. So it's a 6.5 on mine. So percentage-wise, I think I'll give it a...
No, that's fine. 6.5 stars out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So overall for me, I really did not like this movie. Overall, from the whole saga, from the whole this saga, which focuses on Rey and all these new characters, I fucking hate it. I honestly do. I really do. I hate it. It's very bad writing. I will always talk about it. I will always, whenever someone praises it, always stop and be like, guys, this movie sucks. These movies really suck. Because you can go back and watch other movies that do this a lot better. It just doesn't make sense. It's just so sloppy. This movie itself is just, everything just happens. The writing is very bad. You can see right through it. And
the lines are bad.
One-liners all over the place.
All over.
Everything just chopped. The editing on it is chop. Just stop chopping. It's so much. And I was just like, it's so annoying. And as a viewer, I'm like, no, there's no room for breath. There's no room for a character to... My only... positive that I did not say was the fight between Kylo and Rey. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really good. Yeah. I thought the music in that was really good. When they were fighting, I thought it was really well done. And I thought that was good. They should have had this movie been the second movie. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Palpatine should have been a Force way before. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And the fact at the end that she says she's a Skywalker, I get it. But also, I'm so frustrated because they reveal... They reveal that she knows her parents. That she's been lying to herself this whole time. Right? And that she actually has seen her parents and is actually living with that fear. The fact that she knows that they're dead and she has the face of them. And she is proud of her parents and she loves her parents. But she's thrown that all away and considers Leia and Luke as her new parents. To me, it doesn't make sense. Why would you renounce your past? Even though you're related to Palpatine, that is your past. And for her to say, I'm a Skywalker, that's a disrespect to Ben Solo. That's a disrespect to all of the I don't care for anyone that's going to say, no, it's not. It shows you I get it. Look, I really do. I understand it, what they were trying to do. I just really think that it fell flat because they brought in her parents. Because they brought in that factor. It made you care about her past, not this new story that she gave herself. And so to me, she shouldn't have been the last Skywalker. If the last Skywalker was Ben Solo, that would have made more sense. I mean, that's what Palpatine. They should have been negative forces. They should have been. You know what? The good and the evil, that ends now. It's all just negative because life is gray. Nothing's black and white. And that would have been perfect, but they didn't do that. And I just did not like it. And I just don't like this trilogy. I don't like this movie. There's moments where I enjoyed some of it, but honestly, I could sleep through 90% of it. The ending was okay. It was not bad. Again, I'm like, every time I kept turning a step, I'm like, Avengers Assemble. It just felt like they were just doing Endgame. Just very bad. But yeah, I'll give this movie probably... I'll be generous and give it a 10% out of 100%. That's probably half a star. I really don't like this. I don't like it. It's probably hot take 101, but I really don't like it. Guys, the writing is really bad. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say about that. Anything else you want to say?
I'm just sad.
All right,
I was expecting so much more from this trilogy.
Rip to Kylo Ren.
Ben Solo.
The true character developed in this in this
for real,
trilogy.
the true one that everyone would
the character
like.
that should have been the main character, but Disney was too afraid to make a villain the main character. They could have easily made one of the best trilogies ever by having a reverse hero story with him, but they didn't. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We got what we got. Did you guys? So for all of you guys that did watch the movie, that are watching this, what did you guys think about it? Do you guys like it, or do you guys hate it? Or are you guys in the middle? I'd like to know. Be sure to leave down your comments down below. I meant for that to rhyme. And yeah, catch you guys next time in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thank you so much. Thanks, Steph, for being part of this video. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Tons of fan fiction are coming out.